Hi, 143 fam. I'm on Sonia. Thank you for being here. Thank you all so much for your patience. I was traveling, came home with a really bad flu, so I was unable to get your mid-month love readings done. But we're going to take a look extensively at love, your general overview, and these readings here today. I also have a few different giveaways for the month of July. First of all, I'm going to be giving away one free reading to one of the YouTube subscribers here. I will announce winner July 31st. If you'd like to be considered, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Leave me a comment below your video. Let me know how you've connected. Also for Instagram, I'm going to be utilizing that platform to give away a few different readings throughout the month as well. They be spontaneous. You'll have to show up and see what it is that I'm going to do that I have planned for you guys. But again, follow me there, Urban Soul Guru. Winners will be announced there each month for readings so that you guys don't miss it. I have inspirational messages and quotes. I channel these messages for you guys at least a few times a week. Okay, so you're getting some additional content there. Again, thank you guys so much for your support here on the channel. I'm always so grateful to connect with you. I am available in July for private readings, for energy healing. You know how to reach me. Now let's jump in to my first general overview and love readings. Let's see what's in store. Hi, Gemini. This reading is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. For team, we're going to take a look at your general overview first. Then we'll take a look at love. I will have timestamps down below. Gemini, 19, general overview. Gemini, general overview. Okay, Gem, I'm connected to your energy. I can feel what's going on. Gemini, you have to confront somebody. It's coming through pretty strong. But the way Spirit's asking you to confront whoever needs to be confronted or whatever needs to be confronted. It's very specific. This is what I'm being shown. I'm being shown the two twins, okay? And I'm being shown the two twins merging together. The way to handle conflict in the month of July, and trust, there is some conflicts coming in, which you can totally handle, by the way. This really isn't going to throw you off. Throw somebody else off, but not you in the month of July. But you need to integrate the twins. What does that mean? That means you aren't too patient and too kind, and you aren't willing to necessarily explain an issue 1,000 different ways for somebody to get it. You'll have healthier boundaries around that. You'll still have some of that patience and that compassion and a little bit more of a grounded sense merged with that fierce Gemini that's not going to be too reactive. You're not going to force the door to close. It doesn't necessarily need to close because you're feeling passionate. You're feeling a little bit of that aggressive Gemini energy come out. It's a balance. It's the best of both worlds, okay? And ultimately, that's the goal in general, and that's the ultimate sign of growth, to merge these characteristics as a Gemini. But that is how you navigate the month of July, especially with these eclipses that we're stepping into, okay? You got to keep that in mind all month long. But let's get a little bit more clarity on this confrontation. I do feel like we need one more shuffle though. Okay, done. Let's pull some cards. Gemini. All right. Here's what it is. What's coming through, and this is obviously a beautiful card, Shower of Abundance. I'm getting fertility. This doesn't necessarily mean fertility and conceiving a child. This is money. This is creativity. Your creativity is fertile. For those of you working on creative projects, for those of you launching something new, there's a lot of money behind this, but you are going to have to fight a little bit to stay true to yourself. Gemini, you don't have any issues with that, but trust me, there are some people around you that will be a little bit intimidated having to deal with Gemini's confidence, and they might fight you. Recognize that that comes from a little bit of insecurity. Extend that compassion. Extend a little bit of patience, but hold people accountable for what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong in the month of life. Someone's being a little bit insecure. If somebody else is being a little too confrontational and you feel like it's not healthy and it's not warranted, call them out on it. But do it in that very integrated way, okay? We're not doing the extreme twins. We're not dipping into extremes. You'll be tempted. You very well be tempted to be the fierce Gemini twin this month. And in a lot of aspects, you get to do that. But just balance it out a little bit more than usual, even if you think it's super fun to tap into that. I certainly do as a Gemini sun, but that's not what this particular situation is calling for or what these people will respond to. you just won't get the response you want and that you need if you get too aggressive. But also don't be like super patient. Okay, we can sit down and we can just keep talking this over for the next 3 days straight with no sleep. I know we love to do that too sometimes. That's not it. You have too much on your plate, but you're calling in a lot of money. Gemini, this is a lot of money. It's fertile, it's creativity, but ultimately it's divine abundance. I'm feeling and seeing solar plexus just blossoming in a way Gemini not have felt in a very long time. If you are a creative Gemini especially, this will be even more powerful for you throughout the month, but that applies to Geminis across the board, okay? And you'll be reading those opportunity to forgive. What this is, it's about dealing with people from a place of peace. If there's some conflict, resolve it and get over it quickly early on in the month, especially if you're going into the month, that conflict has already come up for you. You're a little ahead of the ball. Close some doors if you need to close them. Inevitably, Gemini, do feel like some Geminis will be closing some doors, okay? Not all of you. Some of you, that's romantic. For others of you, this is business. But there's a big emphasis on business and money and whatever it is that you're creating, okay? This also applies to whatever it is that you are manifesting. You're going to have to close some doors. Do it peacefully, do it with love, offer forgiveness. But a main message that's coming through here, especially as it sits at the center of the reading, is find a resolution, extend forgiveness so that you don't have to close doors with everybody that you have any sort of conflict with. You be dealing with personalities that are not the easiest for Gemini to deal with, okay? I'm telling you, Gemini, there's somebody in this situation. I don't want to say that they're intimidated by you. They are a little bit. Especially if you're creating something. Not everybody's going to understand the thoughts in your head, especially the thoughts that you manifest into some art form or creative project or new business. Not everybody's going to understand the thought process, the creative process, and ultimately the end goal. I am telling you, there's a whole lot of success there. So even if other people don't get it, you get it, keep going. Some people are going to need to see the final product first. They just don't get it. Not everybody will be as creative as you this month. Some people will step out of the picture, but do try to extend that forgiveness. Whether people stay or they go because you want your peace. I will say this, Gemini. Geminis have been in a flow of abundance, okay, of a creative process. Geminis have been stepping into a new phase of life, okay, really aligning with soul purpose and life purpose. But this honestly feels like a different phase of that, okay? So you've stepped into something new. You're in alignment with growth, with abundance, taking some risks, okay? Putting yourself out there maybe in a different way than you have in the past. And feeling shedding of personas. Shedding of personas. It's almost like shedding old skin. You're exfoliating some old persona off. And it's not to say that it wasn't authentic, but it doesn't necessarily serve your purpose anymore, and it doesn't serve the life purpose anymore. So some of what you're putting behind you and some of what you have to forgive peacefully are aspects of yourself that you're letting go of too, okay? Some of this is internal, which is all the more reason why you want to handle it with love and with kindness, but fierce, okay? You will respond to that fierce energy. Geminis, we love that. We love that straightforward, fierce energy. But there's definitely shedding of something, for sure, but this is a new phase. It just feels like a new phase. It's almost like turning of chapters, okay? So we started writing a new book. Now you're on to a new chapter in the new book. Does that make sense? Because that's how this energy feels to me. Okay, a couple of cards popping here. Gemini, look. There's definitely healing here. This is a healing month. A couple of cards that popped with this first. So clarifying, shower of abundance, sweet heart chakra. There's still heart chakra healing going on. I'm definitely feeling some suppressed emotions in the heart chakra. So make sure early on you're cleansing. I feel like you need a lot more water. The ocean card popped side by side with heart chakra. But to stay in this flow of abundance, or to get into this flow of abundance, you need to cleanse and heal this. You need to close doors with a whole lot of love. You need to extend love and forgiveness to yourself. But it also feels like some inner child work needs to be done throughout the month of May. But as you are manifesting this abundance, as you are creating, as you are working on something new, taking those thoughts in your head and manifesting them in some sort of physical form, okay? Whether that's new business, creative project, whatever that looks like for you, Gemini, you need to infuse it with love. The only block I see from the shower of abundance is needing to still heal and cleanse something here. But if you can cleanse and heal the heart chakra early on in the month, that abundance is going to come through very quickly and very, very fast. If it takes you a little bit longer to cleanse the heart chakra, to rebalance, to be a little kinder to inner child, to really start doing some inner child work, especially if you've never done work on your inner child, okay? This process will be dragged out a little bit more, but trust that there is abundance here. Whatever you're working on will be something very big and something powerful at the end of the day for you, whether other people get it or not. So extend this forgiveness, okay? Some outcomes will not be the outcome you originally expected. Do it peacefully. Understand that people served a purpose. Move on. That is being clarified by the ocean. You need to cleanse certain things. Past issues, past thoughts, past people. I will also say this, Gemini, it's not even so much about cutting cords and cleansing energies from people and situations that are toxic, because not everybody's been toxic, but there are some people that are holding space. There are some people, there are some things, there are some thoughts, some work situations that are taking up space. You need that space now. If you truly want this abundance and you truly want to stay in alignment with life purpose, you need more space for it, because the universe is trying to make this really big for you, okay? Okay, let me get a clarifier for life purpose here for Geminis. You know, it's interesting. We're talking about this new book and turning to a new chapter. Do you feel that the energy has shifted? Part of that has to do with these eclipses, okay? Eclipses are very powerful. They're forcing everybody to purge. There's a lot of purging going on across the board, regardless of what sign you are. It doesn't feel as intense for you, Gemini. I think that you've been purging quite a lot, so you don't have as much to do, but there is still some healing here. But what's interesting about this, Spirit is pointing out to me, do you see that he's holding a book? This is a very wise man, a very wise guru, holding his book, journaling his thoughts, and he's ready to turn the page. How do you turn the page, Gemini? Clarifying life purpose, release and surrender. There's a lot of cleansing here, and I'm telling you, where does the cleansing need, or where's the focus of that cleansing? It's the heart chakra. You got to get back to love, but ultimately, as you cleanse, you release and you surrender to universe, you will find that blocks, any slowdowns that you've experienced over the last few months, they will fall away. You will have clarity like you have not had over the last couple of months. This is a new energy, but ultimately, what does it come back to? This. You want this, Gemini, but you deserve this, Gemini. So give yourself the opportunity to call that all the way in. Let me get you guys a crowning card here. As long as you own this cleansing, especially water, I'm really feeling like some of you are really dehydrated. You need to spend time by water. It's cleansing, but it's energy cleansing, it's internal cleansing. But as long as you do this cleanse, and as long as you own that process, which I feel like Geminis will be doing very gracefully, also as long as the twins are integrated, okay? The way you confront people, the way you handle situations is truly balanced. This shower of abundance may take you by storm. Something's really launching, Gemini, especially if you've been putting a lot of work into a specific project, especially if you're a writer. If you're a writer, if you're creative, I'm just feeling a lot of fluid energy, fluid thoughts, but also fluid money flow. I came into this saying fertility, right? There's a lot of fertile energy here. Whatever seed you plant now is going to grow, but also this message. So as you water a plant, you need to be diligent about it. You're not going to skip days, okay? But you can also drown the plant so that it can't grow. Make sure you also strike a balance. And this is crowning your reading, striking a balance, okay, between the energy you put in and also knowing when to pull back, knowing when to say, okay, universe, I've done what I can do. Now it's in your hands. Let this launch the way that it needs to. Don't drown your beautiful little plant, your beautiful project that you've been working on. Make sure you're also investing enough energy into it. There are a lot of lessons around balance, a lot of lessons around integration of Gemini characteristics here in the twins for sure. I'll tell you this, Gemini, it's going to be harder for other people to handle that and these conflicts. then it will be for you to handle it. So don't sweat this. This is actually great because it's pushing you forward. It's making space for bigger and better blessings. And I think as a Gemini, you guys will really own that very naturally, but just recognize it's a part of the process as you're calling this abundance in. Bottom of the deck, we have relationships. What I just channeled with this was relationship with self. Be kind to yourself. Make sure if you are patient and compassionate with other people, make sure you extend that to yourself. Okay? Don't be too fierce. I'm definitely getting a little bit of energy that you have very high standards for yourself. And if you can't fulfill things perfectly, you start to judge. Don't judge yourself. Be kind to your inner child. Okay? Be really, really loving with yourself this month. That heart chakra healing. It's that inner child healing. Okay? Focus on the relationship you have with yourself. How do you speak to yourself? What thoughts do you have out there in the universe about you and your own value? You love and you take care of other people. Are you doing the same thing for yourself in return? Make sure you have a healthy balance with you and your needs too. But underneath all of that, cleanse and detox. Okay, we have a lot of cleansing, but this is where you're headed. Joy, financial abundance, love. But you see how fluid that is? She's in the water. It's calm. It's peaceful. I want you guys to get to this place this month. And you will, okay, as long as you're balanced and as long as the Gemini twins are truly integrated and you're conscious of that all month long, you're getting to this place of incredible abundance, but truly calm waters. There's effortlessness there. Universe is rewarding you for something, rewarding you for work, rewarding you for having the courage to set some healthy boundaries, to confront people if something's a little off, okay? Gemini, for some of you, this definitely applies to love. This balance applies to love. I'm feeling for those of you in romantic relationships where it's been a little bit more one-sided, it's blocking some money flow. So if you feel like you're in a new relationship, or even for those of you who've been in long-term relationships, but you're giving a little bit more than your partner right now, it's time to rebalance the scales because it's getting in the way of some sort of flow. It's money flow, it's creative flow, that fertile, beautiful energy. It's time for those blessings to come in. Trust me, Cancer season for you, Gemini, I feel like even more so as you step into Leo season. Trust me, something's coming through and it's really big. But let's take a look at love, okay? Gemini in love, 19. How does this apply to Gemini in love? 19. Okay, Gemini, I'm feeling some separations. I'm also feeling separations that won't necessarily be long-term. I feel like some of you need space. You need space from family, from romantic partners. You need to refuel. Some of you will reconcile. You take space early in the month and reconcile by the end of the month. Somebody you've had a little bit of separation from over the last few months may circle back. And there does feel like a good energy around this for you, Gemini, but there are some separations. So let's get a little bit more clarity. This wanted to pop. I'm going to put it back in the shuffle. Okay. Should I put this back? I'm going to put it back. But you saw that like kind of popped. It didn't fully flip over, but I'm telling you, we're dealing with some separations here, Gems. Okay. But I do feel like if there are separations, it's because you need it. I don't feel like for the majority of you, your partners will be asking for this. If you separate, this feels like it's a choice that you make because it feels like you desperately need it. And here's why. 2 cards popping. We have pay attention to the red flags, center the reading, codependence. Codependent partners draining you, Gem. Somebody needs you a little too much. It's okay to recognize that. And Gemini, some of you will take space. It will allow you to establish healthier boundaries. This does feel like somebody, it will be worth finding a way to communicate your feelings and what the issues are too, okay? Even if you have to try 1,000 different ways to communicate with them so that they understand. Because for some of you, this is still a great partner, but Gemini, they're red flags. The way things have been going, they can't keep going like this. Something's off, something's off. If you separate, for you, it has to do with codependence. It really just feels like someone needs you a little too much. Followed by a separation card, Gems. I will say this. So, okay, we had the preliminary separation card pop. When that pops, it's usually, it speaks to maybe a longer term separation. I do find when this shows up, it's about taking control over your life. You do separate oftentimes when this comes up, or at least the thoughts are there, because it feels like you feel trapped and you're suffocating a little bit. And Geminis, when Geminis feel like that, Let's just be honest. You see that fence around this beautiful little unicorn? He or she is not staying fenced in, and we're just jump over it, and it is what it is. It's like that's not even an obstacle. But when this shows up, oftentimes partners will come back. This is about recognizing unhealthy patterns, recognizing the red flags, recognizing codependence. For some of you, it's just a clingy partner who needs a little too much energy. For others of you, it's true codependence here. I'm really feeling, oftentimes I don't get true codependence with this card, but this feels like a little bit of a codependent, like for real codependent energy, which also means, are you the enabler? Okay, Gemini, I don't feel like you're the one who's codependent, and you may not want to be the enabler, and you recognize, okay, this is a role in it. I don't like any of the above, so I'm out for a minute. I need some space. I do feel like some of these people will come back. I do. I feel like some of these people deserve to, Gemini, but make sure you take your space so you don't suffocate, okay? Because I'm definitely getting that word and that feeling of suffocation, like that energy, that blood rushing to your face, like your face is just like on fire. Your thoughts are going a mile a minute. Okay, red flags here, clarified by passion. A few different messages with this. For some of you, especially if you're single, you're attracting partners, you're seeing red flags, and you're ignoring them because the sex is good. Okay, I know it's straightforward, but you have a lot of passion. There's physical chemistry there, and it's intriguing to you because you may not have had that for a while with somebody, especially if you're single. That is not enough. If that's all you want out of a relationship at this time, that's fine, but also recognize what the red flags are. Don't get lost in this and ignore the signs, because some of you may be ignoring the signs. Some of you are ignoring signs because of chemistry, that you have a controlling partner, you have a codependent partner. Recognize what isn't healthy, okay? If you don't want anything serious, it's going to be a little safer to entertain this, but even still, there does feel like you could connect to a much healthier partner. Even if you don't want a serious relationship, this person may not be all the way healthy. So don't get lost in the passion and the chemistry here. For others of you, there are some red flags, and I feel like this pertains more to those of you that are in committed relationships. There are red flags with the partner, but you're still passionate about them. Your love is still intact, okay? And that's why it feels like some people may come back. Okay, we're getting chemistry. So we have passion clarifying red flags. Center of the reading, we have this codependent situation, personality, true codependence, or maybe just somebody who's a little too clingy, who needs you a little too much, Gemini, but it's still center of the reading and there's chemistry there. Really does feel like you genuinely like this person. For some of you, it may just be a little bit more of a physical chemistry. But when I get these two, it's deeper than that. There's intellectual chemistry. There's depth. It's not just a superficial connection. So don't be so quick to dismiss somebody permanently. Again, confront somebody. Codependent, this is unhealthy. This is what it is. I'll communicate until you understand what that means. I'll send you articles that make sense. I'll do what I can, but I'm still taking space because no, I'm at a healthy place. I'm evolving very quickly. I need you to meet me at that level. I do feel conversations coming up for Gemini where you're saying, look, you need to keep up with me. I've been down this road before. I'm not repeating these old patterns. I recognize what isn't healthy here. I'll do it with love. And again, a little bit more of a balanced conversation. I'll do it with love. If you can consciously heal this, I stay invested in you. If you can't and you get lost in this or lost in denial, I'm about to be out. What's clarifying for yourself? New love, Gemini. So for those of you single, do expect a new love to come in. You feel like this codependent, controlling, red flags relationship is in your past. Okay, for many of you, that person's actually long gone and you've wanted to be single for a while. I feel Gemini's trying to rebalance their life and their bodies, their minds, their life, their careers from the inside out, shaping different kinds of social circles. But it does feel like you're ready for new love at this point. For those of you in committed relationships, here's the thing. You're going to have an option, Gem. You have the option to separate. It feels like you're kind of there. You're thinking about it. You know what needs to happen. You can continue on and call in new love. You can. But I'm telling you, there's still a connection to this person. It doesn't feel like your journey's over. It just feels like you need a little bit of space. But make sure they heal this. Make sure you're communicating very clearly about this. And not just clearly in a way that you understand. Make sure you find a way to communicate what codependence really is to a partner so that they truly get it. Have that light bulb go off. Like, let them get there themselves, but communicate with them enough so that they can come full circle. Because for some of you, this is very healable. And this new love on the opposite or the back end of this space is really a new shot. It's a clean slate. Okay? Yeah, and this is what it is. Crowning the reading, make the effort. Make the effort to heal yourself, to heal your relationship. Have the courage to step out if it really is unhealthy, but make the effort. If your chemistry and your depth and your passion, your love is still truly intact, don't push this person away permanently. Bottom of the deck. Okay, we have wedding, high-level commitments, and there's some karmic stuff coming up. I believe the karmic issues are showing up in the form of red flags and codependence, okay? But keep an open mind to this person. This feels like very high-level commitment. If you already have this high-level commitment, I really see you coming back together with that person, but it's a new chapter. It's a clean slate. It should feel fresh. Just don't do it prematurely, okay? If you're single, be very conscious of new people coming into your life. Pay attention to those red flags. If you're looking for something with a little bit more of a significant commitment, something more long-term, you have to pay attention to the red flags up front. Don't get lost in the passion, because you'll wind up separating from them pretty quickly and you're going to have to start all over anyway, which is okay if that's the experience you want. But there does feel like there's a new love that doesn't have those issues. That karmic issue can be resolved. And I promise you, with the help of the eclipses, a lot of this is getting purged out. A lot of issues are being purged. You're being forced to acknowledge them and confront people, and also confront these issues within yourself. But there's real healing here. And at the end of the day in love, if you love them, your heart's still in it, their heart is still in it, put in the effort, even if you have to do that separately for a little while. Come back together when you feel it's ready. I am telling you, Gemini, some of you are coming back together after separations. It's very much worth your while. All right, Gems, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I'll be back mid-month with your mid-month love reading. If you feel like you need more clarity in the meantime, reach out to me for private readings, energy healing. I am sending you so much love, light, gratitude. I'll see you back here soon.